lower right.
Oh, wow.
And then our daughter and her husband and the kids will be upstairs in a combined double becomes a single.
Wow. Okay.
And so it's our building.
That's cool. Wow. We'll see how that goes.
Not as big as the basement we're currently in where I have all my books.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The pain of moving.
Where are you moving?
North Miami.
Oh,
Yeah.
But you know why we're doing this, right?
no. Well, of course I wouldn't.
So we moved into our daughter's house when we retired to Ann Arbor in 2009.
Yes.
And our son-in-law 2 years ago took a job in Miami
Miami. Okay.
because they gave him a hospital to manage.
Yeah.
A hospital that's linked to Columbia University, so he gets to be a Columbia University professor in
Yeah.
Miami.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
that's sort of a plus.
And what?
And the agreement was, when Violet graduates from high school, we all move and reestablish the unit family again,
Right,
based on his location.
right. So it's his parents who are in the other lower unit?
Yeah, his parents are coming in from Florida. Because
From
both
Texas.
sets of parents understand the advantage of having two doctors upstairs as we age.
Oh, sure. I mean,
Not only two doctors, because my daughter's a doctor, but a doctor with access to a hospital that he
Right.
runs.
and probably chief of staff.
He's the medical director.
Oh, he's the chief of staff. Okay.
I have no idea. I think the
Same
medical
thing.
director. I think the medical director is the general and the chief of staff is the colonel, but what do I know? Do you think the chief is?
Well, at the U, the medical director is the chief of staff.
So does the chief of staff do the administrative side as well as? I think he does.
They're responsible for the medical, for the physicians.
Right. So I think this is one level up because
There's nobody above, not medical. The administrator is not, the administrators are never medical doctors.
it's maybe a different setup. I think he does.
Well, it's also because it's a university hospital, but you're saying this is Columbia.
Certain things I don't need to know.
Yeah,
So
right.
I haven't gotten into.
Chief of clinical affairs.
Hmm.
It's called.
Yeah, he did that. He was the medical director at Chelsea Hospital before he moved to Florida, among his other things he was doing here. And I think there he was essentially the chief of staff at Chelsea because he was responsible only for the doctors. There was a nursing supervisor for the nurses, and then there was a hospital administrator.
Mhm.
So Chelsea, I can see the three parts, but Miami, my impression is doing more than the single part, but we'll find out when we eventually get there.
Cool.
Have you been to Miami?
No,
Yeah, we
I have
had
like no interest, zero interest in it.
we had one short trip. I've been very comfortable in Ann Arbor, and if it weren't for the promise to keep the family together.
Right,
Weren't for the riffraff moving down there, you could stay here.
right. Yeah, my older son seems to have resettled in Oregon and he keeps trying to get me to.
Oh,
say,
that's where I'm moving,
Oh, really?
in June, yeah.
Portland?
Yeah.
What brings you there?
Oh, lots of things. Love of adventure, love of love.
Ooh.
Life, yeah.
Ooh, a relationship in the, nice. Mhm. Well, my son is in Portland and he loves it, but I have some doubts about this.
Because
I do. So I don't really want to move there. But I mean, I could. But you know, if you met somebody, then suddenly who's gonna talk to me?
Well, you'll come visit.
Oh, yeah, no, I do go visit him. And he comes visits me when he's a good boy. Whenever mom's had surgery, he's come and taking care of me after.
That's
Look, Uncle having surgery just to get him to visit now.
No, he comes.
I-
Flights are pretty expensive.
It is, it is. But we do it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where in Portland will you be moving?
I'm not sure yet. I have like kind of started exploring,
Good luck.
yeah, I kind of want to live in the northeast part of the city. That's where
Yes.
my friends live.
Okay,
And so,
okay, because that's where he lives, so I actually come.
yeah,
from
that's like
that
the,
area.
I guess the cool part. It's all cool. It's Portland.
Southeast is cool.
Is
I
it?
thought it's the cool part.
I don't know.
Although
was told it
Hollywood
was-
area, I think is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the idea.
Hello.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Come on
Are
in.
we the only ones?
You're the
So
only
far.
ones. Why didn't you bring the whole party with you?
I wish I
Me
could.
too.
Because I have yard site.
Oh, yeah, but we're not able to.
Oh,
celebrate.
exactly.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Well, I better go home.
We'll be able to say Kaddish in the morning if
Yeah,
you come.
okay,
I'm so sorry.
yep.
This
Oh.
occasionally does happen on a Friday.
Which is why I come.
To say Kaddish?
No, add my number.
Oh,
I like
I
being the
appreciate
10th man.
I appreciate that. But we need 7 other men. And by men, I mean human beings.
I understand.
But you did say men, wow.
So it's cause
That entire
like,
progress since 1972, just.
no, it's cause I've been studying Jewish feminism with Bob Erlewine. And like we met earlier today and we discussed this really interesting essay by what's her name? Ozick, Cynthia Ozick?
Cynthia,
Yeah. And so it's notes on the right kind of question or something similar, and it's examining whether the problem of women in Judaism is a theological problem stemming from how we conceive of divinity and God, or is it a sociological problem? And so her take is that it's sociological. I'm not sure that I fully agree. I don't fully disagree. I think the way that it plays out is sociological, but I think one of the roots of the issue is theological because of the way that we couch our descriptions of God in strictly male language.
usually,
Yeah.
not always.
But we can't, I don't think, point to Shekhinah because that
No,
came
no.
so much later. And
So there's some places like in Reshit where you can see in the same verse, the description of God is, it switches from male to female
yeah,
and goes to we as well, plural as well. And it's real bizarre, but there are
it
some,
is,
there
yeah.
are some spots in the Torah.
I think that's not an intentional equalizer though. And that's my concern. That, not that it's not
Well,
intentional,
actually-
but it's not intentional to equalize the sexes.
I think the way I read it is that the eternal one is neither male nor female.
That's how I read it as well.
Or is both, or is unknowable in that regard.
I think that that's true. I think that
And
that's not what the Torah says.
And that the male possessive, the referring to the Holy One as a male is just a sociological artifact.
Right, but I think it necessarily
Because
influences
Hebrew
belief.
requires, yes. Oh, well, yes, it does.
And so
But
that
it
in turn influences us to conceive of God in a masculine way. This is just how I'm reading it.
No, I
There
think you're
are
right. I think you're
obviously like thousands of ways to read the Torah, but This is just what I was thinking. And so that's where that came from. Because she writes about how like sitting in the pews, and this essay is from like the late 70s or early 80s.
Yes.
Yeah. And so she writes how like sitting in the pews when the rabbi refers to a Jew, she can be sure that he's not referring to her,
Right.
that he's referring to a male individual because necessarily,
Women aren't counted.
yeah, women don't count. And the normative of Jewishness is masculine, is a male person.
Yes, yeah, this
So
essay, I
Jewishness
think,
is
dates,
passed down matrilineally.
Yes and no. So we could get into the issue of how we call up, for instance, Kohanim and Leviim. Why do we refer to male Kohanim as Kohens, but we don't refer to female Kohanim as Kohens? We refer to them as Bat Kohens, indicating that there's not a fullness there. They don't actually own their title. They are merely related to somebody who has that title and who is included in that honor and that tribe. They're not
It's a
even like
patrilineal
equal,
status.
they're just separate.
it's a patrilineal status and job,
Right.
or originally job.
But if we want to fully equalize women, we, I think, would do away with that language and recognize that women can also be Kohanim rather than just daughters of Kohanim.
The Reform synagogues doing the same thing?
No, they've done away with that altogether.
Done away with what I heard, Miss, didn't hear. what you said.
The aliyot that are special,
You're kidding.
Oh, interesting.
When did they get rid of it?
they've not done it for decades. They have gotten rid of like a lot of things, especially things that separate the genders.
Interesting.
Let's dive in. I know we're like a really small group
Did
today.
Rob get rid of it, or did that just go in?
No, we have that. We still do it here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Mhm.
So who got rid of it then?
The reform movement does not use that.
Oh, right, no, they got rid of it. even
Yeah,
so. I don't think they.
I think conservative synagogues
I don't
have a
think they were-
choice.
I don't think they recognize Kohanim.
They don't. They
No.
don't have the tribal designations
No.
anymore. But some conservative synagogues have also stopped doing it. I don't think it's a requirement.
Is
and
that mostly just a matter of like they might not have Cohen and Levy every week?
Yeah,
Cause in that
that's
situation,
definitely
it's
a
like, what
concern.
do you do?
Well, if
Right.
you don't have them, then somebody else takes it. That's
right, you have somebody to stand in, but if your congregation is just lacking in that, I mean, it's an embarrassment every week to have to like
Yeah.
call out for Kohanim or Leviim and nobody answers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, let's start on page 5. As you can see, Rav Nadav is at home with his lovely family.
As we
As
can see,
he really deserves. Well, yeah, because I'm here and he's not.
you see.
So, we'll do a little Aleichem. There are a few things that we can't do this evening because we're such a small group. But
Maybe like 8 people will come in the door. Like,
that
the
would be
next
amazing.
minutes.
From your lips to God's ears. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Amon. Malachei Amon, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Kadosh Baruch Hu. Sing Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei
Page 10. We'll sing the first and last verse here. Yedi nefesh, So I'm gonna read a poem here. Sorry, this week I've been feeling
Apologize.
super heavy. And I've been thinking a lot about the Parsha, which I didn't tell Rav Nadav this week, so I don't have to give the Devar tomorrow. Yes, I learned.
But you want to space out your devars.
It's true.
That level of intensity takes time for us to process. It was really, really special.
I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
I
Thank you.
did get the chance to tell you last week because I was watching remotely, but it was really powerful.
Oh, thank you so much. I really spoke from the heart, and then I had a moment again this week where I was like, man, I have a lot to say. But instead, I picked out some poems that like kind of underscored how I'm feeling. But also I want to give us a sense of hope because I feel like right now, in a lot of ways, the world seems a little bit hopeless, especially the conditions in our country. So I want to read this poem by Ada Limon. She's one of my favorite poets. This is called Dead Stars. Out here, there's a bowing even the trees are doing. Winter's icy hand at the back of all of us. Black bark, slick yellow leaves, a kind of stillness that feels so mute, it's almost in another year. I am a hearth of spiders these days, a nest of trying. We point out the stars that make Orion as we take out the trash, the rolling containers, a song of suburban thunder. It's almost romantic as we adjust the waxy blue recycling bin until you say, man, we should really learn new constellations. It's true. We keep forgetting about Antilia, Centaurus, Draco, Lacerta, Hydra, Lyra, Lynx. But mostly we're forgetting that we're dead stars too. My mouth is full of dust, and I wish to reclaim the rising, to lean in the spotlight of streetlight with you, toward what's larger within us, toward how we were born. Look, we are not unspectacular things. We've come this far, survived this much. What would happen if we decided to survive more, to love harder? What if we stood up with our synapses and flesh and said no, no to the rising tides? Stood for the many mute mouths of the sea, of the land? What would happen if we used our bodies to bargain for the safety of others, for Earth? If we declared a clean night? If we stopped being terrified? If we launched our demands into the sky, made ourselves so big people could point to us with the arrows they make in their minds, rolling out their trash bins after all of this is over? Let's move on to Laguna Ramana. We're on page 11. Laguna Ramana, Adonai, Nagiel Tzori Sheinu, Adonai, Mitzvotav, is silently. Arbaim Shana, Shir Adonai, Shir Chadash, Shir Adonai Kol Haaretz, Shir Adonai Baruch Shalom, Asru Miyom Yeshuato, Sabru Agoyim Kevodo, V'lo Ha'amim Niflotav, Yigadol Adonai, U'Mula Me'od, Dorahu, Ochol Elohim. Heavens shall be glad and the earth shall rejoice. The sea and its fullness roar. The meadows and all that grows in them exult. Even the trees of the forest shall sing praise as Adonai comes to judge the earth, judging lands with righteousness and the peoples with divine truth. B'nei Adonai kiva lishpot haaretz, lishpot tevel v'tzedek, Elohim emuneto. Continue silently through these psalms as they come up. I'll sing the last lines as we go through them. Love Adonai, hate evil. God protects the lives of the faithful, saving them from the hands of the sinful. Misrua letzadik, Yisrael lev simcha, simcha tzadikim bonai, Leodu secher kodsho. ישפוט הארץ, ישפוט עמו בצדק, ימים במישרים. Blessed is your coming, Shabbat. Blessed is your coming. Bring with you rest and peace following a tumultuous week filled with so much grief and so many demands. Bring the space in which, with others and alone, we can shape an infinity of dreams. Bring the hour of forgiveness, in which to hear the pounding heart of another human being. Blessed is your coming, Shabbat. Blessed is your creator, and blessed is your light. Show, Yikadosh, Adonai Eloheinu. Or reach page 23 in this book. I'm going to share another poem. Pleasure by Rick Barrow. You are told to believe in one paradise, and then there is the paradise you come to know. The shoes lined up in pairs by the door, and the herd moving with its mysterious intent across a dark plain. The blue of the sky, which is the zenith of all colors, and the love of the man in the next room, strong and rough as a hog's back. My mind has a slow metabolism. It is slow to understand what anything means. But it understands that if you look at something long enough, it will have something to say to you. The sun that is strangely bright on some days, a poisoned canary, the crop of winter rocks in a meadow in April. Learning decades later the name of the hospital where you were born, and watching the child eat a mango as though it is time he is eating, time shining on his lips. On fewer days, I agree with the poet's dread of being the wrong person in the right world, and believe in adhesion, in never showing up empty-handed, even if the pleasure I know best is fused with the abject. There was always the other side of the heart, its coaxing. You are here. You can begin again. You can rise. Page 23 for the Chadodi. What melody do I want to use? Does anyone have something in mind they would like to hear? No? Okay.
I like traditional.
What's the traditional? What does that mean?
Standard.
How does it?
Ado dili Kabbalat,
Oh, yeah. Ado dili Kabbalat, b'nei Shabbat nekabbalat. Is that the one you're thinking?
Well, that's it, but you're going off, you're changing keys.
Oh, okay. I don't know that one super well, so, do you wanna lead it?
No?
Okay. Ado dili Kabbalat, b'nei Shabbat nekabbalat. Ado dili Kabbalat, b'nei Shabbat nekabbalat. Shalom We're gonna go to page 25. Maybe see that. Page 27, needs more sheer. Needs more sheer, sheer on Shabbat. Needs more sheer, sheer on Shabbat. Be His voice is more cheer, cheerly on my Shabbat. We'll pick up at the red carrot on the following page. All alone Fortunately, we are short a minion, and I don't mean that we're short people for the minion. We only have 4 of us present. 7 of us present in spirit, I know, but we can't say.
There's one person there, oh, but they're not open.
Yeah, so we will continue with the Barhu, but as we know, we don't say the first few lines because again, we're not a minion. And so we will continue with the Barhu, the larger paragraph. We're on page 39A, or if you really prefer, 39B, knock yourself out. I mean, please don't click. I'm not a medical professional. That's a lot of work for me today. But Mother Yom maybe Lila, Dil Ben Yom Ben Lila, Adonai Tzvahot Shemo, El Chai V'Kayam, Idim L'Chalenu Le'olam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mariv Baravim. Page 40. Apadolam, Beit Yisrael, Torah mitzvot, u'im mitzvasim, otanu le'ladetam. Adonai Eloheinu, Shavenu U'mei. So bring surrender, who will be so sad, they know by Yavatacha al tasir mimenu olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohei bamo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Eloheinu. With all of other sorrow and all that shall all new time, you are very Ratzon kiblu aleihem, Moshe Miriam, Bnei Yisrael achanu shira b'simcha rabah, yamru kulam, Yi kamocha b'yilim Adonai, Yi kamocha edor b'kodesh, nor atzilot, O Sefer. Yam lifnei Moshe ze'eli anu v'yamru Adonai yimloch le'olam Ne'emar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov u'miyad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai ba'al Yisrael. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings. For you, God, watch over and deliver us. And you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people of Israel, and over Jerusalem. And the whole world, let's be real. Page 46, we do not stand. It's not our custom here, but we can sing this. Fish on the roof in Israel, and Shabbat, Asot et Shabbat, Lidor Tamburiton, Fish on the roof in Israel, and Shabbat, Asot et Shabbat, Lidor Tamburiton. Israel, Shabbat, later Tamberit Olam. Kishesh Yamim Sarai, Shamayim Sa'aretz, B'nei Yisrael, Shabbat, La'asot Shabbat, Le'tor Tamberit Olam. Uyom Rashim,
Shabbat,
Vayidafash, Vayidafash, Shabbat, Vayidafash, B'nei Yisrael, Shabbat, La'asot Shabbat, Tamberit Olam. Those of you wondering why I was jumping on the X, if you've never been here when Rob Nadav leads and we have like a large amount of children present in the sanctuary, he makes it into kind of a game, and so they have to jump every time they hear the word et. And so now I can never not think that. Every time I hear it, even at Kiddush. And one of the things that delights me the most is to look around and see how many other people are jumping. Like during Kiddush, right before we get to actually eat, you can see all the kids who know. It's so cute. Best. We are preparing for the Amidah, which is on the following page, page 47, if you're following along at home, or in the chapel, still page 47. So please rise. We'll have Chatzi Kaddish and then go right into our silent standing prayers.
Don't we need a minyan for Chatzi Kaddish?
I'm sorry? We don't,
Oh, okay.
not for this one, just for the mourner's Kaddish, but that's a really good question. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's a
Good enough.
separation.
we can talk about why later. Yikadal, Yikadash Merabah, Yamadi Rakir Tsev, Yamich Mochot Tsev, V'chai Yehon Yom Bechon, U'chaydecho Beit Yisrael, V'agalav Yisrael, Harim, V'meru, Amen. Ishmeru b'levorach, v'olam lo me'omaya, Yibarach, Yibarach, v'yishavach, Yibar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yital, v'yidekudusha v'yivu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, Dushmechata v'nachamata, Damiram yama, Yimeru, Amen. Page 47 and forward in the language of your choosing, or you can have the conversation you most need to have with the universe today. sky that you were born under. Know each of the stars' stories. Remember the moon. Know who she is. Remember the sun's birth at dawn. That is the strongest point of time. Remember sundown and the giving away tonight. Remember your birth, how your mother struggled to give you form and breath. You are evidence of her life and her mother's and hers. Remember your father. He is your life also. Remember the earth whose skin you are. Red earth, black earth, yellow earth, white earth, brown earth. We are earth. Remember the plants, trees, animal life who all have their tribes, their families, and their histories too. Talk to them. Listen to them. They are alive poems. Remember the wind. Remember her voice. She knows the origin of this universe. Remember you are all people and all people are you. Remember you are this universe and this universe is you. Remember all is in motion, is growing, is you. Remember language comes from this. Remember the dance language is, that life is. Remember. Adivrak Yurtabe, Lichmal Kutabe, Bonu Biomechon, Hayedachol Beit Yisrael, Galo Bismon Kuriv, Imeru Amin, Yishmeru Bamemor, Allah Leomaya, Imara, Happy Shabbat, Arvi Tramamit and say, Vita Darbi Talevi Talosh Mida Kudusha, Briachmon. Amin kol berchata v'shirata, dishmachata v'nechamata, damir ambi amavi himen ruani. Baltaloton, baltachon, dechol Yisrael, adam avon, dibishmaya v'himen ruani. Yishlomer amin shemaya, hayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'himen ruani. Oh, say shalom b'ramah. Uya say shalom, v'inu v'yakol Yisrael v'himeru. Amen. Please rise, page 56 for Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon l'chol, v'titu l'yotzer b'riti, shelo sanu k'goyei haratzot, v'lo samanu mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkinu kahem, v'kol aleinu v'chol amonam, Ananu korim, u'mishpachim u'modim, livim melech v'rei amalkim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shemunu teshamayim ve'yaseh haaretz, Moshe v'Aaron, Hashamayim v'Noam, L'shchina tuzo, L'gavei meromim, U'Eloheinu Elon, Anatokenu Efesilato, Avatu, Torato, Yadatayo, Yadatayo V'chashevota, Eravecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, Hashem Maybe seated. Again, we cannot recite Mortar's Kaddish, so come back in the morning and we'll have at least 2 of them throughout the service. But I can read announcements.
I'm
We have
only here to
four.
be the 10th man, but I'm not.
That's all right.
Oh, well,
Next time.
yeah.
I can read announcements though. We have enough people for that. So this Sunday morning, 9:30, we have our shacharit. It's going to be, instead of in this chapel, upstairs in the regular sanctuary. And then directly following that, like the service leads into the Worldwide Wrap, which is a super fun event that we do with the religious school kids, where we'll be bringing all of them up into the sanctuary and they will learn how to wrap tefillin. Children of all genders, we don't discriminate. It's an awesome mitzvah to take on. And if you don't know how to wrap tefillin yourself, you can also come and learn. We'll be starting the wrap portion of the morning at around 10:15. It's gonna be so cute, even if you don't want to wrap tefillin. Our like younger grades will be wrapping with fruit by the foot,
Aw.
which they do get to eat later because kids don't care. They're gross anyway. And then the 4th and 5th grade have tefillin that they made and decorated themselves. It's so, I wish I had like a kit to show you. They're so cute. They're very colorful. They're not kosher, but that's not.
They're out of leather or out of?
They're not,
ribbon?
so they're out of, the boxes are wooden. And then the leather is elastic.
Oh, okay.
But you know, it's not
Yeah,
about
sure.
the kosherness, it's
Yeah.
like about getting
used
to
it.
do the thing, yeah. And then the older kids will of course wrap with tefillin that's been donated, probably not kosher, but it's fine. They're just learning. So come on out, that'll be super fun. We will not have Hebrew classes this Monday evening, so if you're in that, just be aware. Our Hebrew teacher has a conflict and has to go out of town. But we will, on Monday, be having a Talmud study with Rabbi Doberson over Zoom, which starts at 4 p.m. He's a really amazing teacher. He has so much knowledge, and they're reading Masechet Purim, which deals with all of the laws of Megillah reading and just how drunk you should or should not get to recognize your friends or your enemies. It's a great part of the Talmud. Highly recommend coming to that. Then on Wednesday, yours truly will be leading a Tu B'Shvat Seder. I hope that you'll come to that. It's super fun. You don't need to be Jewish. There's very little Hebrew reading. It is participatory, so we all go around and read from the Haggadah that I put together. And then we have all different types of fruits, wine, juice. I'll buy cookies. It's gonna be a whole thing. That starts at 7 o'clock. It will go until about 8:30. Depending on how many questions people have. Who knows? Jews love to talk, as we all know. Right? So you can register for that ahead of time on our website after Shabbat. The registration will be open, I think, until Wednesday morning. And then next Sunday, another thing that you should register for that's going to be super fun is our trivia night here at the shul. In the past, we've been doing it on Zoom, and now we're going to do it upstairs in the social hall with adult beverages. It's going to be great.
Is it Jewish trivia or is
No,
it any trivia?
It's any trivia, so you don't have to have specifically Jewish knowledge, you just have to be a huge nerd and have random facts shoved in your brain. Which most of us, I feel like, do at a point, right? It's gonna be super fun. I believe it's about $10 a person. If the cost is prohibitive to you and you still wanna come, please let me know. That will not be a problem. You do get 2 drink tickets with the cost of admission. So
Yeah, it's
you
a
may
total
need to bring a
package.
flask, but 2 should do the job. I think that's all. Unless, Harvey, do you have some J-Core thing that you want to talk about? I know we're planning a Shabbat with your families.
So JFS had its money cut off before the cutoff for the rest of the government. And they have staggered but have sort of restabilized. And so we're still heavily encouraging people to support them, and we will be having a JCOR concert March 16th, which will raise money for both JCOR and JFS. But the positive news is that JCOR has a family number 4, mother and teenage son. We didn't get the family we were waiting for because they could no longer travel, so we picked up a family that has, I was gonna say, been here 2 weeks. I think they've actually been here 3 weeks, so we'll be getting sort of a late start, but we will give them support for a year and get them integrated and our new neighbors. So we're looking forward to that.
That's amazing.
What is J-Core, what does J-Core stand
Jewish
for?
Congregations organized for resettlement. Jewish congregations organized for resettlement.
So there's joint commission, no,
Jewish congregations, because 6 congregations have come together on this.
I see.
So we have our group, we have TBE, we have Pardes Sana, we have the Cultural Society, we have the Orthodox Minyan, and we have 6.
Is it Chabad?
No, Chabad didn't want to join. They're the only ones who didn't join.
Reconstructionists,
Reconstructions, yeah.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah, very great.
so it's just Ann Arbor, it's all, mostly Ann Arbor.
Yes.
Congregations.
And we're picking up a tradition that was actually started when JFS got its first co-sponsors. They went to the churches, and the Christian Reformed Church told us everything we needed to know to get started. And so there's this just fascinating community orientation, how it all came together and fourth family.
Thank you.
That's wild.
That's such good work. That's really amazing. All right, let's end today with Shalom Rav. You know, I have to sing, it's my favorite. It's on page 51. It's the second full paragraph. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Yolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Yolam. Shalom. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Shabbat shalom, friends. I appreciate you spending your Friday evening with me. I hope you're going home to a delicious dinner or just a relaxing evening. Maybe I'll see you in the morning. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have so much fun.
Is anyone heading in the general direction of campus?
Sure, that could be.
With everyone?
That's very nice.
So do you know where